In a neighborhood where the HOA controlled everything from mailbox size to flower choices, one homeowner decided to take matters into his own hands. Without consulting his wife for the HOA, he hired painters to cover their home in a bold, forbidden shade of deep red. By sunrise, the pristine beige house stood out like a sore thumb among the uniform pastels. His wife returned home in shock, horrified by the glaring violation. What was supposed to be a surprise improvement quickly became the spark of an explosive conflict, both inside the home and across the neighborhood. The wife's fury spread faster than gossip. She knew the HOA rules by heart and understood the storm that was coming. Already neighbors were slowing their cars to gawk, some snapping photos. Within hours, complaints flooded the HOA's inbox. The board president, notorious for her obsession with conformity, wasted no time drafting a violation notice. Meanwhile, the husband remained stubborn, insisting the bold color made their home unique. The marriage cracked under the weight of embarrassment and defiance. What began as a secret decision had turned into a public spectacle, and the HOA was ready to strike hard. The first violation letter arrived by certified mail, demanding the color be changed immediately. Fines loomed, and threats of legal action were clearly spelled out. The wife begged her husband to comply, fearing financial ruin and neighborhood shame. But the husband dug in his heels, declaring the HOA had no right to dictate their home's appearance. The community watched from a distance, divided between admiration for his rebellion and horror at his recklessness. The once happy couple now lived under constant tension, their home glowing red as a symbol of defiance and a target for HOA wrath. The fines began stacking, hundreds of dollars for each passing week. HOA board members visited in person, photographing the offending house for records. Neighbors whispered about liens and lawsuits, while the wife's frustration boiled over. She accused her husband of destroying their reputation and finances, while he accused her of siding with the HOA. Their fights echoed louder than the paint color itself, visible to anyone nearby. The HOA, sensing opportunity, leaned harder, threatening to take the matter to court. The red house stood like a scar on the street, a daily reminder of escalating chaos. Desperate to fix the situation, the wife secretly contacted a painter, scheduling a date to restore the approved beige. But when the crew arrived, her husband blocked them, refusing entry. The standoff became public, with neighbors peeking from windows and recording on their phones. The HOA president arrived, demanding compliance, only for the husband to laugh in her face. The drama became neighborhood entertainment, spreading to online forums where strangers debated the couple's fate. The wife, torn between loyalty and humiliation, realized she had become trapped in a war between her husband's pride and the HOA's authority. The situation spiraled further when the HOA filed a lawsuit, demanding immediate compliance and reimbursement for legal fees. Court papers arrived, and the wife broke down under the pressure. Their marriage, once solid, now felt like a crumbling foundation. Friends stopped visiting, invitations disappeared, and whispers followed them everywhere. The husband clung to his defiance, painting himself as a victim of tyranny. But the financial toll grew unbearable. Late fees, legal bills, and HOA penalties piled high. The wife faced a choice: continue standing beside him, or take drastic steps to end the nightmare once and for all. The breaking point came when the wife, exhausted and humiliated, took matters into her own hands. While her husband was away, she hired painters to restore the house to its original, HOA-approved beige. By evening, the rebellious red was gone, replaced with the conformity of the neighborhood. Neighbors cheered quietly, while the HOA rescinded most fines, praising her cooperation. When her husband returned, his rage was unmatched, but it was too late.
How?
His stand had ended in defeat, and his marriage now hung by a thread. The house was saved, but the damage inside the home was irreversible. In the end, the HOA declared victory, proudly pointing to the restored house as proof of their authority. The neighborhood returned to its uniform tranquility, though whispers of the scandal lingered.
Oh.
The wife lived with lingering resentment, scarred by her husband's stubbornness and the humiliation it brought. The husband, defeated and bitter, remained isolated, convinced he was wronged. Their once bright marriage now mirrored the dull beige walls, colorless and cracked beneath the surface. What began as a secret surprise had spiraled into lawsuits, fines, and heartbreak. In HOA neighborhoods, even a coat of paint can destroy everything.